I'd say it's been a minute, but if you know anything about my time here, you know that this ain't shit. Greetings, my fellows. So another most wonderful ModCon has passed by, but instead of another Anchovy Dominoes presentation, I popped up voicing, and drawing, and editing for one Pax Equestria, which, I mean, I'm no linguist, but those are two different things. Did I abandon Archon? Did I get caught with a double family? Is anything actually going to come out? All this and more today on the Just 7 channel. Paxa, previously known as Project Twilight, has been in development since Victoria's been public. In that time, the fucking Romance of the Three Kingdoms has hit the dev Discord, and we've had about as many final versions of this and that as I have voices in my head. This is the context in which I, popular YouTuber and media personality Just703, had spawned. Bright-eyed and with a million ideas. Trouble is that the project needed leadership, not more bodies working sporadically. A role I just couldn't possibly fit. I just felt like there was no place for me at my full potential. So I decided that while fitting whatever possible in one, I'd start my own mod. Archon Domini. Holy shit! Now, you may notice that despite the increased mare power and greater time frame, AD came out with a trailer a full year earlier and is well ahead in actual development. That is because, about a solid 2 months after I had joined, 2/3 of the server's population just vanished. Not all in one day, not over some drama, just that running in place with no real direction leads every pony to get tired after long enough. Now, I know this looks bad, and that's because it is, but one crucial advantage of a thinner lineup is that you are actually able to push a cohesive concept and actually note what's being put down. Well, of course, that's assuming someone's no life enough to actually write down all the necessary. Suddenly, I've become very important at work. So now that the flashback is over, what's the future of the Sevenlings? Archon is basically at the start point of a non-total conversion mod. You fucking old hipsters have no idea how easy you have it. You don't even have to blindly guess what's fucked for 50 crashes. You can just see what doesn't work. Paxa, as I said, is further behind. But I can proudly proclaim that we've made more permanent progress in the 7ian era than every year before. Still, Paxa's a far heavier mod conceptually. 80% of my first year crunching this shit was just putting concept maps together. I still expect AD to come out first. You may notice I'm only speaking relatives here, mostly because after late summer, you're not getting no fuck number out of me. But after pushing for this long, leaving my Sevenlings behind just feels barbaric. So I can assure they will be coming out. All I can say is that my projects are only ever as dead as their creator. I imagine this applies to all of us. And that brings me nicely to my next question. What takes priority? The best way I can describe my works is that Paxa is a labor of love, while Archon is a labor of spite. Do not dig myself too deep, because I have very little time here, and because I can make this into a video of its own. All I'll say is that I'm not happy with the way the story of Genshin Impact has evolved. Archon Domini boils down to a correction, whereas Paxa is a continuation of a story I find far more complete, cohesive, comfortable, and something else that starts with a C. I didn't mean to do that, actually. By the very nature of each exercise, one is far more enjoyable than the other. However, their development is not as separate as I've made it seem, and that's by design. The roguelike mechanic, initially envisioned for the Nation Which Remembers, is to be mildly reworked for New Sotrata and friends. The alchemy system is to be split into one part generic and one part gimmick for the West African region, so this division is less dramatic than one might expect. And thus we come to the last point, this very channel. Before reaching the 9th circle of hell, I tried to split myself 50-50 between mod and video work, mostly because I enjoy video work, and it's a good detox from reverse engineering the Victoria free map. But I think I'd rather this mess move faster, each video be more certain in tone, and I think I'd rather make longer projects which don't fit well with the current format. I'd say get used to less stuff on this channel, but I'm guessing we are way past that. I do want to keep my projects public enough, if only to avoid the dead mod allegations. I guess I'll just have to square that circle on the day-to-day. With that, I don't know, this will probably be my most viewed video in a bit, what with the modcon in the room, so fucking share, like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more! Hit the jingle!